The bridge is over. The bridge is over. Biddy baba. What's up, world? Man, y'all know who it is, man. At this point, we are the dynamic duo, man. Would you agree, Hendo?
Um, More like Batman and Robin.
I get it. No doubt. No
You
doubt.
Batman, I'm Robin.
Negative. Negative.
And as you know, Batman had many Robins.
Oh, here
As
you go.
as I transform and become Nightwing.
Man, welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. Man, I am your host, Mr. Galloway. And I am truly, real talk, I'm with the hardest working man in showbiz.
Mm.
Man, anybody that's looking at YouTube right now, man, this bro's on every other day, if not every day, man. You know what I mean? The man, the legend, the myth. What's up, Hendo? It's truly an honor and a pleasure.
What's going on? What's the honor? What's the pleasure?
Being with you, bro.
For
Being
what?
with you, man.
I'm doing the same shit we do every day, all day. We just talk.
Yeah. And I'm glad you brought that up, bro. Cause I don't know if people really get our show what we doing. That's all we doing is we kicking it. We talking. You know what I mean? We not going at it like, you know, Jay-Z had umpteenth number one songs, or you know what I mean, or Eminem had this many triple, quadruple platinum albums. No, that's not it. All we doing is kicking it. All we doing is talking about our love for hip hop. All we doing is giving our opinion. You know what I mean? And before we get started, Joe, when I first started doing the music thing, it's funny because you and my son said the same thing. Uh, he said to me, he said, my youngest son, shout out to Day. He said, you know what? When you start doing the music and you start putting everything on, social media, people going to say things. You know what I mean? They, you know. And I was like, okay, okay. And then when we started this YouTube journey together, you said to me, Dre, there's gonna be times where people say things you might not agree with. It might rub you the wrong way, you know? But what they don't know about us is, man, we're not tripping off of that. As long as you say something, you get what I'm saying? Negative, positive, or indifferent. Everybody can have their own opinion. I don't know when all of a sudden the world became so thin skinned. You know what I mean? We don't always agree with each other. We ain't mad. I ain't mad at you. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah, now it's just whack. And all you do is laugh it off.
yeah. It's Hendo's opinion. You know what I mean? Nor do I feel like we should do like force our opinion on other people. But I digress because I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, and I want to get to today's topic. Well, actually, this is today's topic. So Hendo and I did a show. We did the top 30 rap groups of all times. And we got some comments. And this one particular guy said to us, hey, y'all want something to talk about on y'all show? Why don't y'all talk about KRS-One and name top 30 rap videos? Well, that's too easy for us. Would you
Top
agree?
10? Top
I,
10?
yeah,
You said top
that's
30. You want to do 30 of his videos?
no. He said top 10.
You just
You
said
know.
top 30.
Oh,
That's what I'm
oh,
asking. Like,
oh
what?
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you can flip it. No, leave that in. Because that's how we do. It's hip hop. It is hip hop. You know what I
Well,
mean?
I'm gonna let you know in a little bit what's not hip hop. Because you know
Gotcha.
how I say, you know how I always tell you hip hop is life,
Mm-hmm.
hip hop is forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We got a little instance that we're gonna speak about a little bit later that it's not.
Okay. Okay. But we are listening and we don't trip. So when the guy said, hey, talk about KRS One, top 10 videos, no problem. And I hope you're listening because this one is for you. Shout out to you, bro. So I'm going to go back in time when I first got introduced to KRS One, right?
Mm-hmm.
Elementary school. For everybody that don't know, I lived over east, York and Cold Spring, actually Radnor to be exact, right? I had a childhood friend. We used to go to school together. Walter B. Carter Elementary School.
Mm-hmm.
Name was Brian. Unfortunately, he passed away. Um, but weekends or whatever at the school, we would go to each other's house. And one day I was over his house.
Right.
And man, he was playing this dude. And I was like, yo, who is that? And he said, yo, you don't know who this is? This is KRS-One. And the rest was history. I never heard anything like it. And the first thing I heard was The Bridge Is Over. That was my first joint. So, man, RIP to my boy Barry, man. You truly miss. He was a good friend. But yeah, he was the one who put me down with the legendary, the iconic KRS-One.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So when did you first hear KRS-One?
Man, it was so long ago. Unlike you and your experiences, I had to stumble upon hip hop.
Mm,
You know, if you heard my story before, I told you I was rich enough to be the poorest person in a middle class neighborhood,
mm,
and it was it was Park Heights, but it was the Park Heights that was smack dab in the middle.
mm,
You know what I mean? You had your Park Heights, and then you
mm-hmm,
had your Jewish Park Heights. I was
mm-hmm,
smack in the middle. So a lot of the people I grew up with, a lot of the people that for the schools that I went to, it was a mixture. And I was alone. I was a loner. I stayed to myself. I didn't have friends like that were into music like that, and they weren't into hip hop. So for me, I just did my thing, and one day I just started listening to the radio
mm-hmm.
because some new kids came to school. I went to cross country. Some new kids came to school, and they were talking about these songs, and I'm sitting there like, what you talking about? So I started talking about the song I knew that was a similar title. I can't remember which one it was, but they were talking about the rap version. And I'm like, rap version? This is kind of off, but okay. So then I went home, started listening to the radio. And that's when we had Frank Ski, V103,
Mm-hmm.
and all that. But unfortunately, just like radio today, most things never change. They play the same 12 songs all day long.
Right.
But eventually they played some other stuff. And I'm like, okay, I think I can get into this. So happens that this was around the time of cable.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe I'm sorry, around the time that we got cable. I can't say
Right.
around the time that we were able to afford cable.
Mm-hmm.
And Yo MTV Raps is on,
Mm-hmm.
and I seen him, and I'm like, okay, this is different.
Mm-hmm.
This is different. I rocks with him. So back then, doing a little research that I could, because we didn't have the internet, we didn't have YouTube and all that.
Right.
I'm like, oh, okay, BDP. I knew more about Miss Melody for some reason back then than I knew about him.
Hmm.
I don't know why. But then I heard his music and I'm like, okay, his brother's uplifting. And then I
Mm-hmm.
heard the bridges over like yourself.
Right. Right.
Then kind of find out he battling NC Shan.
Mm-hmm.
And when we grew up, battle rap was all that it was.
Yes.
I mean, not disrespectful, just like what we do here. Nothing disrespectful. What I
Mm-hmm.
mean? For the most part, it's just people showing their skills, showing their knowledge, showing what they're worth. And when I heard him, I was like, oh, he's an intelligent brother. And
Right.
throughout history, he's shown he's more than just a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
So he had me hooked. BDP had me hooked. I was a little shocked, certain instances happened.
Hmm.
I mean, but unfortunately back then, as it still is, violence is the key.
Yeah. 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 Man, it's safe to say. Well, I'm gonna go on a limb and say all hood facts, right?
Mm-hmm.
The bridge is over. To me, has to be one of the best diss songs ever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, for y'all, the bridge is over is an honorable mention because I didn't know they had a video, right? I Googled it when we had this topic and I stumbled upon the bridge is over.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a rough cut, almost like they were filming it at one of his shows. You had DJ Red Alert in the beginning of it or whatever. And so I don't know if it was a video, but it's a video. But to me, if they did make a video, the bridge is over to me would be number one, hands down. I feel like that's one of KRS One's best songs ever.
Right. But I
What's your
mean,
thoughts?
I think it's up there.
Mm-hmm.
So I have favorite songs and then I have favorite cuts.
Mm-hmm.
I have songs that's like, yo, I rank it up there, but I have songs that I'll play mostly all the time. With this one, we had this conversation earlier, and I told you back then, sometimes rough footage, concerts, studio sessions were the videos. So that, we might have to revisit this,
Mm-hmm.
find out if that was a real video. But if it was, I put it at the top. To me, it
No
wouldn't be an
doubt.
honorable mention because, this one started it all for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So
Yeah.
shout out to MC Shan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me. Without that, who knows what we would have with him?
Facts. Facts.
You know what I
Facts.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it started something and it kind of evolved into something else.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what dudes didn't know was he was about that life.
Yes.
I didn't know he was about that life. Like, I thought, what I'm saying, he was just an intellectual dude handling his money. But the beef with him and Shan got real bad to where
Mm-hmm.
it was a point in time where he showed up at your show and
Hmm.
threw him off the stage.
Mm.
Not physically, but
Right. Right. Right.
he shut the show down like, yo, you don't want these problems.
Mm-hmm.
But then
Yeah.
eventually they resolved it. He's a man of intellect,
Mm-hmm.
and we all live and we all grow. But yeah, the bridge is over. The bridge is over. Yo, yes sir.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm a fault you for this one, but I'm gonna let this
Mm-hmm.
one slide though. So
Mm-hmm.
I still would put it number one, real video or not,
Yeah.
or maybe
Yeah.
two. One of
Mm-hmm. All right. So number one.
you want to start with number one?
Oh, okay. Let's start with number
I mean,
10.
if you want to start with one, we start with one.
No, no, no. We normally start with 10. So let's do it. Now, yo, I'm gonna say this. I don't know. I'm gonna tell the world this. KRS One came from a homeless shelter.
Mm-hmm.
He really had it bad. You know, that's where he met Scott LaRock. That's where he did his beginnings. So I am in awe with his wealth of knowledge. And it's crazy as a kid, or period.
Mm-hmm.
Some people they'll watch a show or a movie and it's all entertainment.
Right.
You know what I mean? The older me looks at a show, a movie, a documentary, and I try to get something from it. But the younger me, I just wanted to be entertained. And unfortunately, back then, the younger me just wanted to be entertained.
Right.
But he did this in a witty way that he was teaching you and entertaining you at the same time. And he said a lot of things in there. And when we were researching this,
Mm-hmm.
I went back and I listened to his body of work. And I'm like, man, you know, he was telling us about Black history. He was telling us about ourselves. I want to say he was the first MC to tell us to love ourselves, to tell us that we are beautiful, we're strong, we come from a rich culture and lineage. He was the first.
Right.
And in that video, he he expressed that and he showed that. So when you get a chance, YouTube the video. You must learn. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, listen, I skimmed once you brought this up. I skimmed through some of the videos today because I haven't heard Chaos One in like 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
except for a couple songs that I listen to all the time. But I don't know. This show, just the people, they're kind of building that fire back. They're bringing that desire back for me to get back into hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
I'll always love hip hop, but we've had a rocky relationship
Hmm.
for the last 10, 15 years. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? With changing the guard and everything. But yo, you're right. He is one of the first MCs that taught you, hey, love yourself, knowledge yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you want, you could have said he influenced Wu Tang.
How about
You know,
that?
with knowledge yourself.
Mm.
One of the lines in the song, what do he say? I failed your class because I'm not with your reasoning.
Hmm. Right.
You actually had to think about that line to know how deep it really is.
Mm.
And I mean, for all y'all that don't really want to look it up, it just means I ain't with your bullshit.
Facts.
Just because you say it don't mean it is true. I ain't with it. So yeah, it's a good video. I,
Yeah.
I'm with this.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So what we got for number 9?
All right, coming in at number 9. Duck Down.
Now, Duck Down. I dug the. You know what? KRS One, man. His beat selection.
Mm-hmm.
I want to believe all hood facts that he created boom bap. You know what I mean? I guess you could consider Premier in that neighborhood. I
Mm-hmm.
guess you know what I mean. But his productions and his beats and my thought process on what boom bap mean is just the beat. You remember when you were young and you used to beat on the
Mm-hmm.
lunchroom table
Right.
or the desk? To me, that's what boom bap is. You know what I mean? And to me, duck down, boom back beat, and he was just doing a freestyle like, yo, look, I ain't that guy to be messed with. So I thought it was dope. The video was more of a freestyle feel.
Right.
Karos One, he always highlighted graffiti,
Mm-hmm.
breakdancing, because that was the culture. That
Right.
started the culture. So I love his videos because he always have scenes with that in there. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So yeah, duck down. Duck down. There's a sleeper. Check it out when you get a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. You know, not too familiar. I'm not as familiar with the song as you are,
Mm-hmm.
but I remember the video, the graffiti, just the abandoned buildings, him just
Mm-hmm.
running around. It was just like regular old school hip hop. But once again, it's just footage from around the neighborhood.
Mm, mm.
I ain't had to go out here and make an expensive video. You know what I'm saying? He don't battle MCs to lose.
Facts. Facts.
You know what I mean? And I just think he letting these MCs know. I ain't want to play with. Lyrically, y'all can sleep on me and think that I'm not that. And he's always said it. Like, yo, I'm not here for radio cuts. I'm not here to get these record sales to show I'm the best MC. But on the
Mm-hmm.
low, when I spit these bars, you better duck down because they coming for your neck. Once again,
Facts.
Wu Tang probably got inspired by that. So
Facts. Facts. And before you move on, I'm gonna go on a limb and say this.
uh-huh.
Back then, if I feel like with hip hop back then, the older generation, or would that be considered the golden era of hip hop?
We would consider it the golden era. I'm not sure
Got you.
everybody would consider it.
Mm-hmm. Well, back then, I feel like those guys had one particular style. That was it. When you heard them, you immediately knew they were them. Like a
Mm-hmm.
Run DMC. I'm gonna just use them for an example. I could use many others, but they had this one particular style, and as time went on, they tried to adapt. But KRS One, out of the gate, to me, he was doing stuff that a Biggie did now,
Mm-hmm.
or a Jay. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Or even further up the pole with a Kendrick or a J. Cole. You know what I mean? Back then, He had all kinds of deliveries, all kinds of cadence, all kinds of flows. He was harmonizing on tracks. And I want to believe that he was the first to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when we talk about these old school guys, man, who I don't even know we really should call him an old school guy because he rapping to this day. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
But man, this guy is no joke. To me, he's the epitome of MC. But I digress, bro. What we got next up?
The next one we got at number 8 is not good. I wouldn't consider it as good. It ain't good. No
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
You should
Yeah.
know which one it is.
Yes.
Yo, you told me about this earlier. I ain't gonna hold you. I lost respect for your man. I lost a little respect for your man, homie. But
Okay.
coming to number 8, 13 and good.
All right. So again, with us just researching KRS-One in his videos, we came up with this song, 13 and Good. And the message in the song kind of takes us aback in today's society. It would be, I don't want to say appalling, but it would have been a serious issue. When we came up in a different time, piggybacking off what we said earlier. Back then, you were more open about your thoughts, right? I feel like back then it was a true freedom of speech. You spoke what was on your mind. You had George Jefferson, but then you had Archie Bunker. You get what I'm saying? They both spoke their mind.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But I said all of this to say, listening to the song today and through the week, I realized what he was saying in the song. So KRS-One was at a club. Met a female at a club. They went home, had relations, right? He says to her, "Oh yeah, by the way, how old are you? I'm X, Y, Z, age-wise. I'll leave it at that."
You might would just look, bro. We don't hold no punch. You might just go ahead and say it. Because I'm gonna tell you the story after you finish.
All right. So he said, "I'm 25. How old are you?" She said she was 13. So I'm gonna say this. Why was a 13-year-old in the club? Who knows? Whatever. So that was the whole synopsis of the actual song. And he's running through his mind like, wow, I can't believe this happened. What's going on? But the situation was good. So I guess, Hendo, you want to expound on it?
Yeah, listen. I don't care what era you're in. I don't care what your religion is, what cult you belong to. I don't give a damn what it is. Glorifying pedophilia ain't it. But this isn't about him. This is about Afrika Bambaataa. So he wasn't the one that did it. Afrika Bambaataa was, but that's his homeboy, and he said he made this song in jest. And that's why I said earlier, hip hop can be forgiven, but I'm not forgiving you for making a joke about sleeping with a 13-year-old. You can't be forgiven with that. Like, I understand you want to keep it real, and you can traverse hip hop through many lanes, many subjects, many topics, and it's a form of art and expression. I get that, but there is a time when expression can go a little too far. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what the reason behind it was, joke or not. I know comedians tell crude jokes all the time, and it's just jokes, even about tragedies, but especially in the infancy of hip hop, you know what I mean? It's a good thing it didn't come out now.
Facts.
Like you said, and not only because just of the times of it, just with the woke movement, cancel culture, and people understand it. See, back then, a lot of people were just like, all right, the beat's cool, the hook is good. You know what I mean? I rocks with this song. Nobody was really paying attention to the lyrics of it because if somebody heard that today, he'd probably get arrested.
Yes. Yes.
But the biggest issue was he tried to defend Africa Bambaataa because they went after him. Like they came after KRS-One, like, yo, my man, what's good? We know your man's like, I didn't really know this, but your man's a known child molester. Like, known. It wasn't no secret. Like the song, that's the reason why I think he did the song, because it wasn't a secret. You know what I'm saying? But they like, yo, how can you defend him? He like, yo, I don't want him to get the backlash I got. Why the F not?
Right.
He's the one that actually molested them kids.
Yeah.
Them underage.
Yeah.
And I know nowadays, especially nowadays, in the 90s, possibly late 90s, 2000s, some of these young ladies are like grown women. But there's no way back then you can tell me that you couldn't tell a 13-year-old from a woman.
That's a fact.
So yeah, this is when I lost a little bit of respect for you, guy. Like that's a subject I don't even like talking about the subject, much less taking the time out to come up with lyrics to write a song about it.
Facts. Yeah.
All right. Let's just move on. I feel dirty now. I feel dirty. Like,
yeah.
Right. Bump that. Coming in number 7. A friend.
Yes. I low key, this is one of my favorite songs. You know how you'll listen to a song and you'll walk away, you had a melody in your head. And I feel like this was it. You know, a young Angie Martinez was in the video.
Facts.
Yeah. She was security. For y'all that don't know who she is.
You saying what? You saying she not no more?
No, I mean she is, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? She was, you know, back then you were like, man, who's that? You know, right. At least I was.
Oh no, most definitely. Oh, you dumb, bro.
Yeah. But for y'all that don't know, I was about to say Google it, but I'm gonna stop saying that, man. Y'all should know who in the hip hop world, y'all should know who she is. So I'll leave it at that. But man, I like the song, I like the melody, and it was just a dope video, man. Shot well. It had this rich look to it. You know what I mean? Like that glossy. You know how videos once upon a time, or still do, some videos had like that gloss look to them. You know what I mean? And it just looked like he put a couple of dollars in that. Because like we were saying earlier, normally his videos are in your face, a grittiness to it. You know what I mean? So it was a pleasant surprise to see him go that route with that.
Right. And you know, that's one of the things that I guess we like or require from our MCs is that versatility. And for me personally, like a lot of these MCs, I love them. Like I used to love Big Daddy Kane. Like when I tell you I listen to Big Daddy Kane 24/7, but then after a couple albums, it's like, yo, all his stuff sound exactly the same. And that go for singers too. Like I love certain singers, but after a while, if you don't switch it up, you lost me. But yeah, with a friend, you're right. Like the flow of it was just totally different. He slowed it down. You had the hi-hat, the snares. Yo, he used like violins, the piano riff. Like it was just a smooth flow that you could just rock with. In the video, yeah, it was visually appealing, especially back for that time. You know, the quality was a little bit better than most. And like I said, I just like the way he switched his flow up and just slowed it down. A little bit calmer,
right.
I mean, and you can't go wrong with live instrumentals.
Yes,
I think he actually used live instruments because you know back then people used to sample and do stuff. And who was using violins back then?
How about that? Facts.
So it's a good spot for it.
Yeah, I agree. All
right. So let's jump into number 6. Number 6 is going to be MCs Act Like They Don't Know.
I mean, man, this is another one where he was just doing his lyrical thing.
Right.
One of my favorites. MCs act like they don't know. Man, in this one, he switched up his flow a couple of times in this. Man, this is one of them ones where not only should you check the video out, but check out the actual song and live with it. Man, when you get a chance, you know, if you're on Spotify, Apple, Prime, or whatever, get his essential playlist and just live with it for a while. And I trust and believe you will be thoroughly impressed with the lyrics that he say.
Right.
You know what I mean? The punchlines. He was doing the punchlines before Fab was doing the punchlines, before Jadakiss was doing the punchlines. Man. So yeah, it was one of those ones. Never freestyle joint.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So
yeah. Yo, beef for this one is bananas. Like, this is one of my favorite ones. I think this could have actually been higher. I mean, I ain't mad at you, but this could have been a little bit higher lower than me. But you know what I mean? The way Yo came in. If you don't know me by now, I doubt you'll ever know me. I never won a Grammy. I won't win a Tony. Like, yo.
Yeah.
I think just having me go back and watch his videos and listen to his music, yo, I'd have slept on this dude for a long time. I slept on him for a long time because, like I said, I only listen to certain music of his from time to time. And I forgot all his classic cuts, but yo, I might have to bump him up on my MC list.
Yeah.
So I forgot his name, but whomever you are that had us do this list, thank you.
Oh, no doubt. Much love, man. We appreciate you, and we all listening. So anybody else want us to do anything else, and all you gotta do is let us know, and we on.
Facts. Now, this video coming in at number 5. This is the song I will play a couple times a month. Like if I wanna get in the mood or I just want to get hype or something, I think this song should have been a little more popular than it was. I know it was popular the most, but I don't know what it is about this one. I feels this one. And coming in at number 5 is Step Into a World Rapture's Delight. Yo, he killed that one.
Yes, he did. When I first heard it, it blew my mind. First of all, we grew up on Blondie.
Facts.
And for y'all that don't know who Blondie is, man, Google gonna have to give us a check, man. Y'all need to Google Blondie. Man, oh man. Do y'all know who y'all know about MTV Raps? Well, guess what? In Blondie's video, Fab Five Freddy was in there. Yes.
Yeah. Yo. So she was actually, I listen to Blondie all the time. She's in my playlist. She raps on one of her songs. And she has a song called Rapture.
Yeah. So yes. If you don't listen to any other one on this list, Step Into the World is a must listen to. I say listen to that one first. Man, you know when sometimes like old R&B music, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Marvin's, the Stevies and all, when you listen to it, it take you to a time and place and you like, man, I feel like KRS-One has timeless music.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And his bars, you can still spit them type of bars today. You know what I mean? To me, I feel like KRS-One, if he wanted to, man, he can go against anybody right now.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Your favorite rapper respects KRS-One. Trust and believe. Yeah.
Every time, like when I'm doing shows or something, or I'm talking to people, I always use that line. I'm not saying I'm number 1. No, I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yo,
right.
When he came with that one, and then in the video, all of them popped on the screen, I was like, yo, it's over. that's when my respect for him went even higher. I know I lost some for him today, but when I saw this and I heard this the first time, yo, it blew me away. I'm like, yo, I've been sleeping on this dude for the longest time. And I tell you all the time, and I say this on the channel a lot, that yo, MCs think that record sales make them the dopest. It does not.
Facts.
It does not. Because anybody, for one, especially nowadays, anybody can pay for spins. You know what I'm saying? And skew the numbers and make it look like, yo, my song got 4 million spins, but you paid for 2.5 million of them.
Right.
And the record company paid for the other 1.5 million.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Vanilla. Case in point, Vanilla Ice.
Facts. Right.
Vanilla Ice. The song he had made this man rich until he dies.
Right.
Even after Suge Knight took his money.
Yeah.
But that don't mean that was one of the hottest songs ever made, or his lyrics were just something that we were like, oh my God, did you hear them bars? Did you hear what he's spitting? It was whack.
Right. Right.
To be honest with you. And if he hadn't stole that beat from Queen, nobody would even remember that song.
That's a fact. Because I feel like that was the formula. Just get a hit song and say whatever over it.
Facts.
You know what I mean? But you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, so yeah. Every time I hear dudes talk about certain things, especially these younger cats, I hit them with that line. Y'all think record sales make you the dopest? It does not.
Yeah.
All right, we coming down to the last 4. And coming in at number 4 is going to be Jack of Spades. Jack.
Yo, I love Jack of Spades, man.
I see you put him at number 4.
Yes. Man, oh man, when I first heard that joint, I got a homeboy, David, man. That was his favorite joint. Shout out to David if you out there, bro. But man, he used to play this joint to death. But for the ones that don't know or too young, man, it's this movie out by the Wayans. Yes. Y'all gotta say it. It's hilarious.
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Yes. And it was a spoof. You know what I mean? I want to say it was like a 70s exploitation spoof.
It was a black exploitation spoof and a superhero. It pretty much was like a what is it? A Shaft spoof.
Right. Yeah. And man, and there was a lot of people in there. I don't know if you saw or know about In Living Color. You'd be surprised who was in there. Yeah. But man, the movie was hilarious.
Wasn't your girl in there?
What, from Different World?
Jada?
Was Jada in there?
Am I thinking about the other one?
No, it was the other one.
Okay, that was the other one.
Yeah. Shout out to Jada. B Moore's finest.
No shout out to
B Moore's finest. What's up, Jada?
I don't claim anybody from B Moore. Yeah.
B Moore's finest. What's up, Jada?
She the ruin of Fresh Prince.
Man, oh man, there's something in that water. Maybe it's that Old Bay season. I don't know.
Might drinking that harbor water.
Man, oh man. But yes, so the movie goes off. You in the theater, and they play Jack of Spades, man. Oh man, amazing joint, man. And man, if it wasn't for Keenan, you might not have had what's the movie, the show that the brothers made. We're brothers. We're happy.
Singing Amber Color. Give me a high
five. Yeah.
I don't
the
know.
Wayans brothers.
Probably. I don't never watch that show. Was it funny?
Yes, I love that show, man. I still watch the reruns, man. It's on VH1 right now. Yeah, I watch the reruns, like cleaning up around the house or whatever. Yeah. But man, Jack of Spades was dope, man.
It was.
Yeah. One of my favorites.
Have you ever noticed how, and it might not be in this situation, but you ever notice how there'll be a song and the song is hot, you rock with it, you play it, whatever. But for some reason, you'll hear that song in a movie. And now you'll want to hear that song even more for some reason.
Yes. Yeah.
Not to say he put him on, but I do think that he made Keenan Ivory Wayans help push the song a little bit further than it would have went without it. But I mean, it was still a dope song though. He had on the green, yellow, and red suits.
Yes,
Or
yes,
the black, green, and red ones.
yes. And you know what? What you mentioning that, man, that's another thing I love about KRS-One, man. He was, because back then you had Dapper Dan was around. He was making these MCM suits and these Gucci and all of that. And that was big. You had Eric Ben, Rakim, all of the MCs was doing that. Even Mike Tyson was doing that. But KRS-One, man, he was like, no, I'm going to flip it like this. He always was true to himself. And I feel like he embodies hip hop. I feel like he embodies the culture because that's really what the culture is. It's being true to yourself. It's taking from the culture and you putting your own spin on it.
Right.
I don't know where the lines have became blurred where it's like, okay, this is what Hendo is doing, so I'm going to have to do the exact same thing to Pop. Nah, man, it's me doing me and Hendo doing Hendo. And I don't know. But I love KRS-One for that.
Yes, but right now it's rinse and repeat. Like you literally have tutorials that tell you what to do. And like everything being online and you can access anything. If I have a tutorial that says, hey guys, this is how I made a hit song and got it in a movie. Just do steps 1, 2, 3. And you have 5 million people watching this. So you got 5 million people now that are taking these same steps to make the same stuff that I made so they can get on. Out of them 5 million people, 20 might get on. But all 20 of them, plus myself, are going to sound the same. So it's all a rinse and repeat type thing. For me, I respect that man because, like you said, he came up in a homeless shelter. He was living in a homeless shelter. And instead of selling out for money to get all this quick money and sell out and not be his authentic self, he made music that was true to him.
Yes.
And he told you, I'm not making this for no radio cuts. I'm not making this for your approval, your approval, your approval. I'm making the music that I like that comes from my heart and is sending out a message.
Right. Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah. So, all right, we're down to the bottom three. I mean, the top three, the last three. And coming in at number 3, Love's Gonna Get You.
Powerful message. And I definitely was just listening to the beat. I wasn't listening to the words
at all.
Right. Because if y'all saw previous shows hanging with Hendo, I'm not even going to go into it. You just got to go to the shows and check out what I said and how I felt and why I felt that way. But man, Love's going to get you. If I would have just listened, if I would have opened my ears, opened my mind, man, only if, man, and the way he did that video, the song, man, I ain't even, look, I know videos, they want you to break everything down and they want you to go and analyze things. We're not that show. You got to listen to this one. Because the spooky thing about KRS-One? This song is prevalent to this day.
Facts.
Now, I'm asking the hip hop culture out there. Think hard, long and hard about what I'm about to say. Your favorite artist, right? Do he have a song that you feel and believe, maybe 30, 40 years later, it could still apply to then? Think about that.
That's a difficult one to say. Only when I say that they're few and far between. I'll give you that much. Few and far between that will still be prevalent 30, 40 years from now. But like we spoke about recently, do you still stand on street corners? You'd have thought by now that they would have revolutionized the way to sell drugs.
Right.
But yet they still hand in hands on the corners all day and all night. So certain songs about the drug life that'll still be prevalent in 30, 40 years because it'll still be going on. So in that aspect, yes, but to your point, no.
Yeah.
Like what he's saying in this video, nah, it's not too many that are gonna be like that one, because he's speaking upon false loves,
Mm-hmm.
the love of material things, the love of image.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And looking hard for your crew or just your neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Just all of these things that aren't gonna help you thrive or grow in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Things that are unnecessary you can't take with you, that you can lose in a heartbeat. Because
Facts.
it's a lot of dudes, especially from that era, started up here,
Yeah.
and these they live next door to me.
Hmm. Right. Right. Yeah. 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 And what you would do in desperate times. I looked on the internet the other day. I came across Damon Dash and something he said, and he said something to the extent, and I'm paraphrasing. I am paraphrasing as a
Mhm.
disclaimer. But he pretty much said, when people are down bad, they're desperate and they'll do whatever to get money.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It'll cloud their judgment. They may make decisions they would normally make,
Right.
out of desperation.
Mhm.
And like we talking about, he describes all of that in this one song.
Facts. Just the
This one.
greed and jealousy. His brother getting shot at the light.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, this
Yeah.
this was a deep song.
Very deep. Yes, yes. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know where we had him on our list of greatest MCs. I know he was on there.
Yeah, I think he was top 10. But the thing, um,
Oh, don't tell him. Y'all
nah, but
go
I'm just not
back
what I'm
and
saying is what
okay.
I'm saying. No, I'm just saying I think it was some flack or some huffing and puffing about where we put him. Like he was too high.
Mm.
And now that I've gone back and listened to this stuff, I'm like, maybe he wasn't high enough.
How about that? I was
Mm.
just thinking that. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, so where we at, bro?
Oh, we had the top two.
Okay, okay.
And number two was a revolutionary song for me. Like it was a song normally in the normal circumstances back then, certain stuff, I'm like, oh, this is too long. I ain't trying to deal with this. Or I don't want to hear no messages, man. I want some beats. I want to hear somebody saying some stuff. I don't want to hear this political BS at the time. Because I was young. But then when I sat down and really listened to it, I'm like, oh, right.
Hmm.
So coming in at number two.
Mm. Self-destruction. I saw an interview, old footage,
Mm-hmm.
where KRS One was like, yo, he wanted to make this a single.
Right.
And he did a video for it. So he shot it to BET.
Hmm.
BET was like, it's too long. Nobody want to hear that. So KRS One said to whoever at the time at BET, like, oh, so you want me to shorten my message? Did y'all get that? Let it sink in. Self-destruction, man. Amazing song. And you know what's ill about it? This is another one. He's still talking about what's happening to this very day.
Facts.
And it seemed like sometime, I swear, we trying our very best to live up to what he's saying in that song. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, ooh, me. I don't know. What's your thoughts? I mean, you know?
Yeah, look. Uh once 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 it caught up to the masses and we actually started listening to it, because at that time, violence was at a all-time high for our lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And to see all of these different MCs come together for the benefit of empowering, especially our people, and just bringing out the knowledge that everything ain't good. We need to stop killing. We need to stop gang banging. Like, we killing ourselves one way or another. We are doing ourselves in, and I'm just like, my favorite MCs and dudes I didn't even know about at the time. This put me on to some dudes I didn't know about at the time as well. And I'm just like, yo, they all come together for a message. And then recently you told me about the BET thing, and I told you, yo, I'm not surprised, man. BET was never made for black people to kind of get knowledge yourself once again, to kind of get on that higher knowledge level plane and just be better people. BET was never meant for that. Like I told you to watch that episode of the Boondocks.
Right. Yeah.
And that tells you all you need to know. So, you know, of course, there was people back then trying to suppress it because they want us hunting, killing, robbing, and stealing. Like, don't get it twisted. They put us in positions to do all of these things because they want it. They need it to happen. Because if black people, for instance, not just saying we're the only ones, but let's just say, for instance, black people got our stuff together. We did like we did back in the 1910s and had our black communities, or just, you know what I'm saying, did what we needed to do within us. Now there's an economical shift that happens where we don't need as much police force. So if we don't need as much police force, they don't get to go to the state and the federal government to get more funding that they can steal and use for other stuff. So they need these things to happen. It's just like war. You know, they talk all this anti-war stuff. They want war to happen so they can pour money into war bills, for legislation, for when they campaign, they have something to stand on. So they didn't really want this out there because they want us going at each other's necks, because it's all diversionary. You know what I mean? They need us divided and separated and fighting about something stupid while they're out here pulling the wolves over our eyes.
Facts. Man, oh man. This song was so powerful that the West Coast did a version of it. Google it.
That's how powerful it was.
I might mess around, make that a t-shirt. I say that so much. Google it. All right, man. What we got is number one.
You should already know.
Yeah.
You already know. Coming in at number one on the top 10 KRS-One videos of all time, My Philosophy.
Now, this is my second favorite. As y'all know, when we started, The Bridge Is Over was my favorite, but this is my second favorite.
Your honorable mention was your favorite?
Yep, the honorable mention was my favorite. You know what I mean? But this is a close second. My Philosophy, man, it came at a sad time, man, because DJ Scott LaRock had passed, and we just came off of talking about self-destruction. So I mean, but yeah, you know, and he had passed, and it was like, man, how KRS wasn't gonna move forward, man. And he did it, man. He came with a vengeance. And man, I elaborate on this song on one of my little clips that I do. Look out for that. I don't know if it'll be out before then, so I don't want to say too much about my love for this song and one of the things that he did or had in this video that I thought was super dope. And back then it was an epidemic. But yeah, My Philosophy, man. My Philosophy.
You talking about that Malcolm X cover?
Yeah, that.
Malcolm X cover. Like, yo, listen, by all means necessary.
Yes.
And even, like you said earlier, even back then to today, it still stands. You know what I mean? Like, I know you're not trying to promote the gun violence or anything like that, but the message that he was trying to portray was, listen, we need to succeed. We need to progress. We need to come together as a people by any means necessary.
Facts.
You know, I think that's the message that he constantly tries to pump out. Like, yo, put all these dumb, stupid, petty differences aside, come together so we can build something as a people. You know what I mean? And I know certain people, if they do see this, you know what I mean, they're going to be on that, oh, you know, the black people trying to get together and get their own. We need to. Because who else is?
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's a narrative that he tried to push. And that's why I don't think that he cared about record label success, album spins with soul. I have a message. You know what I mean? To an extent, he's a hip hop prophet.
Yes, he is.
And prophets weren't out for promotion. Prophets weren't out for pretension. Prophets weren't out for a payday. You They were out to spread a message.
Yes.
And I just think throughout his whole career, even to this day, he's out trying to provide messages to black people. Now,
yes.
We all slip up and have our 13 and goods. You know what I mean? But you live and you learn.
Facts.
That's the only thing that I can say. You make a mistake, you learn from it, and you don't repeat that mistake. That's how you grow. That's how you can be respected when you put out a message and people try to come at you. If you have a backing of work and you have things that people can relate to, it spreads your message further, faster, and farther. So, yeah, I think very deeply. That's all I got to say.
How about that? And I guess in closing, man, I want to say this, man. KRS-One, if you are listening, if this reaches you, man, I personally thank you for everything that you did, everything that you said, everything that you shared with us to empower us, to move us forward. You will not be forgotten in hip hop. Until next time, man. You have any part words, bro?
First and foremost, I want to say congratulations. You hit 700 subs today. You know what I mean? Thank you to all y'all that showed my man love, help him get to that 1,000 subscriber threshold, get him monetized so we can take this even further. So salute to you, and let the people know what we about to record next, because we about to record something in a minute here. What we about to talk about?
Yo, we gonna talk about Russell Simmons, man. It's well overdue. I'm excited. I can't wait. Russell Simmons. Stay tuned. Next episode.
Ain't gonna be pretty.
Dr. Dre voice.
Ain't gonna be pretty.
So y'all stay tuned. All right. We out.